Evangelist Mark, like all the other evangelists, has a unique way of presenting the story, the gospel message of Jesus Christ. And it's also the most primitive, the shortest. He's a man who is no nonsense, wants to get right to the point. And yet, we really experience this in the particular technique that he uses, which I'll talk about at the end. But I'd like to share with you 3 points that I've been able to glean from this particular aspect of the gospel message. The first one is that Jesus doesn't heal in the same way. When he encounters illness or disease, he responds personally and uniquely to each situation, each person. So notice, it's one of the few times where Jesus takes this man, who is surrounded by a whole crowd, off to the side. He gives the man privacy. Certainly we can see why. I mean, it's a very intimate touching he's doing with this man. And then he reminds us that there's no one special magical way that God works in our lives. Rather, God attends to us personally, directly, according to our own unique need. Second thing is notice what he tells the crowd. Now keep this a secret. Yeah, right. The guy's been deaf, can't speak very well, and he wanted to keep the secret. So the people choose to disobey Jesus. This is a lead-in to the technique I was talking about. So Scripture scholars call it the Messianic secret of Mark. What's that mean? All throughout the Gospel of Mark, Jesus is telling people after they've been healed, seen a miracle, experienced deep faith, don't tell anybody. Why? He wants to point out as a pastor what's wrong with his community. Is that they're talking about the very things they shouldn't be talking about and not talking about the things they should. Because at the resurrection, the angels say to the disciples, go and tell the world what you've seen and experienced. And they don't. And that's what the Gospel of Mark is telling those in that time what was wrong with the community. Is that you're keeping it to yourself. You need to share it with the whole world. So, what might we do 21st century? We might recognize that God responds uniquely in our own day to the needs of each person, each group. Might we do the same? Not just have one size fits all in what we do in our work, our ministry, our lives, our relationships. Second, recognize that we are to speak up, to offer our own testimony of how we've experienced Jesus in our lives, what God has done for us and God's goodness and love. On this day of friendship and love, it certainly is very appropriate to talk about the very one that you love, hopefully the most, that's brought you to this Eucharistic celebration. Today is a day to truly tell the world the good news that he is alive. And he dwells in us and works through us.